Hello guys, and we are back, and in this video we will actually do our first exam where we will check how much did we actually learn throughout all of these past tutorials. Okay, so usually when people listen to these tutorials and when they do these programs with me, actually they often overestimate themselves. They make a poor judgment and they think they actually know all these things, because when I say, for example, okay, now I'll make a variable a, I need to use it for this, and that is the reason why I will use type int, for example. And people, of course, when they're watching it, they understand why I'm using it and they think they know that. But for example, the first time when you need to do actually something by yourself, it's kind of hard to remember all of these parts which are extremely important. So usually people forget something. Maybe that's a semicolon, maybe it's something bigger, maybe it's the use of printf function, maybe they don't use, for example, the quotation marks here or something like that. Okay, so right now what I would recommend is when I say which program do you actually need to do, I would like you to pause the video and to try to do it by yourself. It won't be a hard program, it will be a really easy program, but in case if you cannot remember how do you do something, you can still, there is still a way to find a solution. Usually when programmers are making some code for something, when they don't know how to do something, first friend that they will actually call in for help is Google. So when you don't know how to do something, just Google it up. Find it on Google. Really, Google has all the answers. Almost everything that you need you will find on Google. Especially if you're writing some simple program, not something that is very complicated. Okay, so right now I will tell you the program. So in this program you will need to ask the user to type in the length of the sides of a rectangle. And in the program, you need to calculate how big is the area of that rectangle and how big is the perimeter. And once you calculate that, you need to print it out on the screen. So it's pretty simple. And now you should click pause on this video, because in a couple of moments, I will write this program here inside of the video. And once you're done with your program, you can check how did I do it. And if you, for example, didn't understand something, I will explain all of my steps. I will start from scratch and explain everything I do. Okay, so let's do it. Click pause now. Okay, so I will first include standard input output header file, like always. I don't need to use now standard library file because we don't need anything from that file. So I'll just make main function here. Okay. And right now I'll start to make a program. Whenever I make a new program, of course, at the beginning, I need to see which variables do I need to use. So if I'm going to ask the user to type in the length of the sides of a rectangle, the length is actually a real number. So it can have, it can be 2, for example, 5 or anything, but it can also be 2.25, for example. So that is a real number, so we use float. Okay, and I will call one side A and the other side B. And I need to calculate the area and the perimeter. So area and perimeter. Okay, it's pretty simple. So right now, I will ask the user to type in the values for the sides of the rectangle. Okay, so hello, \n, please type in the length of sides. please type in the length of rectangle sides. Okay, and I'll put a \n here. Printf side A equals, then I'll print here scanf %f. I will use %f because when user types in the length of one side of side A, I need to actually place it inside of this variable, which is type float, and we use conversion character %f for float type numbers. Okay. Whenever we use scanf function and we need to place it inside of some variable, we use address operator. So that would be good. Of course, you can always put this here in the next line, but usually when I program, I like to use printf and scanf, which is used for the same variable inside of one line. It looks kind of better for me. Printf, okay, side B equals scanf %f and B. Okay, so right now I need to calculate the area of the rectangle. So area equals, I will set the area to a multiplication operator B, just like in math. And perimeter, I will set it to, you should already know this, 2 times A plus 2 times B. Okay, so C program is actually smart enough to understand that we need to, just like in math, we need to calculate this first because multiplication is older than addition, and then to add these two together. Okay, so we're fine with that. Okay, so right now the last part of the program is to print out the results of this program. So we'll use printf function, of course, and write area of the rectangle is %d and \n area. Oops, I just made a mistake right here. I've used %d and I need to use %f because this variable is type float. Printf perimeter of the rectangle is %f. I don't need to use the \n right now because that will be the end of the program. Okay, and return 0 at the end. Okay, so let's run the program now and to test it out. Okay, I have one mistake here, semicolon. That is a mistake that happens really often. Side A, for example, it will be 4, and side B will be 5. And now to see, so as you can see, we actually used here %f, and we have here a bunch of zeros. I know we talked about it in the first couple of videos, how to make these zeros go away, or maybe to make the decimal places smaller. So we could just print here type 0.2 and here 0.2 to make it look better. Side A is 5, side B is 6, so the area is 30 and the perimeter is 22. So you can check that out, it's good, of course. Okay, so that would be pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions or recommendation, you can feel free to write it down in the comment section. So in the next video, we'll actually talk about type conversions, and we will also say something about variable qualification. How can you qualify some variables? And that would be pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel too, and put the notifications bell on because we upload daily so you can be in touch with our latest videos. And see you next time.